2, 1, go!
Man, every time I always think of freaking Bonesaw from Spider-Man. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. So I tell my daughter like every time it's like time for bedtime. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Does she like run and squeal?
Impossible.
Yeah, and then she just runs, screams, and kicks on a door somewhere. It's great. Bonesaw. Man, wrestlers in movies are like the greatest thing.
How so?
Because it's just comedy.
Like John Cena?
I think John Cena's probably like, I don't know. I was like,
But he's all legit now, and so is The Rock.
He's legit, but he still plays comedy characters in most of the stuff that he does.
Yeah.
The Rock tries to do serious things, but it's The Rock, and I always expect a cameo from Kevin Hart at some point.
He does kind of seem to go everywhere with his little buddy.
He just puts Kevin Hart in his pocket, his little front pocket. Something I've actually been meaning to try. I want to try the Jumanji video game.
Oh.
I don't know. It's probably terrible, but I kind of want to try it. Just from the looks of it, it looks very like Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Legends, X-Men Legends type gameplay.
I'm pretty sure that's a Game Mill game too, which like all their games are just terrible, terrible garbage. Just awful. Don't expect much.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, anyways, what's up, gamers? Welcome to Screen Smash, CouchSoup's video game podcast, where we talk about all things and everything, anything, whatever we want around the world of gaming. I'm your host, Dan Morris, and we are joined by Jake Brown.
How do you do?
And Louis Reza.
In usual Louis fashion, he holds up his Switch.
2 can play that game.
Huh?
3 can play that game.
Oh, well, we're gonna go. Yeah. All right. You and your emulation. I mean, nothing illegal.
You shut your mouth.
That is not how this works.
Real quick, I just want to throw out. I got a Backbone a few weeks ago. My wife got it for me. Freaking loving this thing. It's something I didn't think I would actually need. I got one and I love it. What? What's your problem? What's your problem?
I want to hear that sentence again. I got a Backbone finally. My wife got it for me.
I said what I said, Louis.
Happy Mother's Day to your wife.
Happy Mother's Day. She barged to the door and handed me the Backbone, and I said, I got you for 3 minutes.
My wife got me a Backbone.
Got me a Backbone. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
No, but like it's so much fun. I don't know if either of you own one though.
We talked about this offline the other day where I said I was considering getting a Backbone, but that was right up until I got a hold of one of these bad boys. Thank you.
I absolutely don't have Backbone whatsoever. I've been trying to get one. I've been going to a therapist, working on assertiveness, but
my wife got me a Backbone because I couldn't grow one myself.
They're not on the pedestal anymore. They are off the shelf. To give them right back.
Happy Mother's Day.
I do love it, but there is 2 issues. Dan, when we talked about this a few days ago, that is definitely one of the issues. Is I have to take my case off, my phone case off, to use it because it's too thick and it won't. You know, it's a thick boy. It won't clip on without it.
Thick
backbone is thick.
The second, which I really don't like this because it's not advertised anywhere. I feel like, and it actually should be brought to attention more. Is when you click on the button, it takes you to. It comes with its own little app and whatnot. It's really cool because it's like a hub for like Game Pass. Steam. Yeah, you can get like Google Play, Steam Link, bunch of stuff, and it's really cool. It's all in one app. But if you want to use it or play anything in it, so like Game Pass, I have Game Pass. So if I want to go play Diablo or Gears 5, I can play that on Game Pass. But if I click on it through the app, it wants me to buy a membership. $40 a year to play something that I already have a membership for.
A membership?
Yes. Like right now I'm on the month trial, but as soon as that month ends, I'm not using the app anymore. It's super frustrating because I'm like, you're paying $40 for the convenience of it being in one place, one app. I don't know. It's so weird. I'm like, I can just
So you're
open up the
basically
Game Pass.
paying for a hub? Is that what
Essentially,
that is?
that's essentially what that is, the membership. But I'm not going to be dumb enough to not use the free trial. I mean, it's a month free trial.
trial.
100%. But other than that, and it was funny because Louis, you were talking about
I feel like I
emulation.
remember seeing that when I looked into the Backbone, that there was like some sort of premium something or other. But for me, it was the phone case. That was the deal breaker that I'm like, nope.
But it's
not
weird
doing
because
it.
like on the box, there's no advertisement for it or anything whatsoever.
You know
and
what's
it's
really funny
so crazy.
is the Asus ROG Ally has that exact same feature, but it doesn't charge me anything to use it.
Oh, yay. That Asus, good job for you. Asus 1.
Asus 1, Backbone 0.
Take that,
Don't have no
Backbone.
backbone.
Well, but what's something I am loving, which I'm sure the Asus can also do it, is I've been playing Game Boy Advance games like emulators.
I play Game Boy games.
Dude. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
God, like I've tried emulating like Game Boy games on my phone before and using other controllers. It just felt terrible. But like since this plugs directly into your phone, it is wonderful. And playing games like my personal favorite, Legacy of Goku 2 on Game Boy Advance with a joystick and analog stick. Oh my God, it works wonders. I don't want to go back.
When I was looking really heavy into emulation, I saw a lot of people suggesting get a Backbone and go buy an old phone. Dan?
That was the way to do it before. I've been down that road where I had an old Android phone and I was using my Android phone with a Moger. It was like the Backbone before Backbone. And like you would Bluetooth or sync that up with the phone, and then I would play my emulation on the phone like that.
But how long ago was that? Like 17 years ago?
2017.
You're old?
Yes.
I mean, I'm older than everybody here.
Shut up,
because you're old.
That's
No,
all
Thanks for reminding me,
last
Louis.
year, right before you helped me out to learn how to, because my monkey brain has no fucking clue how to do it. But right before you helped me out how to get into understanding what emulation even is, I was trying to understand it and I was trying to read into it, and I saw a lot of people suggesting, they were like, go to a pawn shop, buy like a 3-generation old big screen cell phone, and then get one of these, like one of the newer Backbones or whatever. Like there's a lot of really good controllers that you can get for the phones that are just going to be the basis for it. And that way you can just put everything onto the phone, but you have to clear it out. You can't use it as a phone. You can't do anything else with it. It's got to just be basically a working computer. And there you go. So it's really cool to actually hear like, oh, okay, so it actually does work. Okay. But are those through the app as well? Or when you lose the app, can you continue with your emulations, Jake?
Oh no, it's not even on the app. It's just like I downloaded a separate, like on the Google Play Store. I'm sure you can do it for Apple Store or whatever. I don't know. I haven't used Apple in years. But like I downloaded, what is it? It's like Pizza Boy Basic.
Oh, it's one of those Game Boy emulators. Okay.
It's just one of them. But it's like I'm just literally over here. God, you can't see anything. It's just terrible. But it's like I'm playing Legacy of Goku.
Yeah, turn the brightness down.
Seamless. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
no
I did
lag,
that.
no anything.
I did that with the Steam Deck a while back. I was showing you screenshots of me playing Legacy of Goku on the Steam Deck in the exact same fashion, but that was a pretty painstaking process of I had to download the stuff on the computer, and then I had to transfer it over to the Steam Deck, and then I had to take the Steam Deck into the Linux like OS, and I had to go through all this stuff to run and install all the programs. Then you have to tell the Steam Deck to recognize all of that stuff from within the Steam Deck operating system. It's a lot of work. It took me like hours of watching YouTube videos.
Like 30 ago.
Yeah.
So the thing that I love about it though is like I downloaded the app. It's free. I didn't have to pay anything. I plugged in my Backbone and boom, I'm playing. It's awesome. And I got a 64 emulator too, so I'm playing like Donkey Kong 64 on there.
Nice.
And
video game preservation. I love it.
God, I love it. It's like I have to. But
That's what it is now. At this point,
Absolutely.
It's not even like I hate anybody who would get pissed off at the thought of emulation, because it's just gonna like, dude, this is literally the only
I
way
wanted to
that
write
we
an
can-
article about this, actually, about emulation being the future of video game preservation. And
It absolutely is. 1 billion%. That's the only way that we can do it because these goddamn companies are not selling them. So why shouldn't we?
That reminds me too.
Find a way.
There was a developer recently. I'm blanking on who this was. That they tweeted or said somewhere that they're like, if my game is delisted and unavailable for you to play legitimately, by all fucking means, emulate the shit out of it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It sucks because
That's
it's
a
like
goddamn
thinking
hero.
about like Donkey Kong 64, for example. The last time I think you were able to actually purchase that was for the Wii U before that shut down like a year or two ago.
Possibly.
And that's something I didn't get to do because I think it was available in that shop.
Yeah, either the Wii or the Wii U shop or both. That sounds about right.
I don't care what anybody
I have it
says.
on my Wii, but
I'm a
never
fan
got
of the Wii U, like specifically for the Virtual Console. I love the Wii U. I
The
don't
Virtual
understand.
Console on the Wii U is great.
A small confession. I only found out that the Wii U was a whole separate system like a year before they discontinued.
Oh no!
I was like, I can't afford the new thing for the Wii. And they're like,
You're unlocking core
that's
memories
a
for me,
Wii U.
Louis, because I worked at GameStop at the time when the Wii U came out, and people everywhere, everyone thought the Wii U was the gamepad, and it was an accessory that you bought for the Wii.
Oh,
and I'm like, no, it's a whole console. Like they were confused, like, why is it $300? Like, it's a console.
That's a hell of a controller. My gosh.
Yeah, I remember
picking up the screen. Yeah, actually. Yeah.
I remember buying the Wii U. I had no intention of getting it, but my wife and I, we were at Walmart one day and we're just looking at the video games, and then we see there's a Mario Kart 8 bundle with the system, as every Mario game, every Nintendo system comes with a Mario game.
You're killing me.
No. So it just cracks me up because it's literally like she just looks at me. She goes, "Oh, Mario Kart. You want to buy that, and we can race against each other?" I was like, "Oh, so you want to have an argument? Yeah, perfectly fine. Let's go. Let's buy it."
Beautiful.
You want to have
bought it, went home, got my butt kicked, got angry.
Mario Kart that we've all been playing for 10 years.
I lost my backbone. Then that's how
that was where you just got it back.
Lost my backbone, and then years later
she's like, "You know what? It back to you.
Here's your backbone. Just
here. I'm taking it off of my shelf. Here you go." The reason why I said that you're killing me is that I'm just thinking like you saw Mario Kart, and you're like, "Oh, let's get this Mario Kart. It comes with something else in there."
It was a new Mario Kart.
Shit that just keeps winning for you, man. Like Jesus Christ. Fail upwards more, my friend. Fail upwards more. I love it.
It was a good time. I get my butt kicked on Mario Kart. I don't think I've ever beat my wife in a game of Mario Kart. And I'm always trying to be like super nice to her when she wins. I'm like, "Good job, you did great." She's like, "Suck it."
There's no diplomacy whatsoever. It's just like, "Yeah, bitch." Like, oh,
she jumps up and she's all like, "Yeah, oh yeah."
you know the one
Bring a macho man back around.
You know the one time you beat her, she's gonna throw something at you.
I'm scared to at this point. Like I don't want to.
It's gonna be the worst day of your life. She's not gonna talk to you. She's gonna sleep on the couch. She's like, "I can't be here right now."
So I have the opposite problem where I started playing Mario Kart with Brandy, and she gets really into it. She has fun with it, but she's not super great at it. But she's not terrible by any means. But I've also just been playing Mario Kart for a really long time, and I can basically. I'm not the best player I can say this. I had learned the hard way. I competed in a Mario Kart tournament for a fundraiser last year. Some of those sons of bitches are fucking good. I was like, damn, I thought I was good, but holy shit. Anyways, anytime I play Mario Kart with anyone who aren't those people, I basically give myself a bunch of handicaps. Like I can only press A to go and left and right to turn. That's all I'm allowed to do. And I still win. Meanwhile, Brandy's over here like a dragon, like seething.
Oh my goodness!
But she wants to keep going. She wants to keep playing. And I'm like, "Hey, you want to keep going?" She's like, "Go, shut up."
So this made me think of a story. Oh my god, I need to do this again.
This is the episode of Rabbit Holes.
Yes, no, it is. It's literally. We're gonna title this episode "Jake Gets a Backbone."
It's done.
Jay gets a backbone and fails
And
upwards.
Jay gets a backbone and Mario Kart. No, so
with a detachment and some kind of controller.
So this happened maybe like a little over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. We had a few friends come over and we ended up playing Mario Kart. So instead of getting angry at each other, we decided to make a fun new game out of it. So we would pick teams and we'd do one-on-ones. So whoever was playing, we would blindfold them and we would have a second person stand behind them and direct them, go like, they'll just be in the ear going left, right, and see who would win. And it was the funniest thing to watch.
Oh, that's actually
I love
really
those kind of things,
idea.
actually. I've seen
It's a really good idea.
I've seen somebody do that like on a stream where they did challenges like that for Mario Kart and other games where they would do something similar along those lines. Or that's kind of fun.
It surprisingly went a lot better than we thought it would, because we thought we would just be like in a wall the entire time going like, which way am I going? But no, it was really cool because it was just like, all right, sharp left. Okay, slow down. You got a right turn coming up. All right, this is a long one.
The other fun version of that is like if it's a game that splits the Joy-Cons and you have to give the Joy-Con to somebody else and you have to work together.
Yeah.
Oh God. Now that would make me punch somebody. Like, turn left. What are you? Like,
it was definitely fun. I recommend it.
You definitely want to have a competent partner in those.
If you have a group of friends over, that's definitely a fun game to try.
Well, as long as we're talking about Mario and everything, I've got to represent. When I got this, this was at Universal. Exactly. This was at Universal. I went to go like we were there for obviously for Mario Land, and I went for to get the wristband thing so I can do all the fun stuff because I'm still a child at heart. And when I was, oh my God, I like, you have to crawl because of how small these things are, because it's for children. And there's me, a 39-year-old, I'm doing all the things that I could. I'm sorry, Luigi. Yeah.
Cool. I'm a star.
And unlocked new voice. And so like when I was buying the stuff, the girl who was the cashier, she goes, "Oh, somebody finally showing love to Luigi." I was like,
man,
you know what? He's the taller, more attractive brother, much like me in my life.
I've always played with Luigi in the games and the Mario Karts too. I like being Luigi, especially because like how he does the scowl. Like I love how angry Luigi is.
Yes, I am. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Damn it.
It's funny, of course, talking about Luigi or Mario in general now, because literally before recording this episode, I was watching the Mario movie with my daughter, and we stopped to have dinner. And while we're eating, she looks at me and she goes, "Do you know why I wanted to watch the Mario movie, Dad? Because I love the Mario movie." Like there was no pause. She didn't wait for me to answer. She just said, "Because I love the Mario movie." And I looked at her and I was just kind of like,
I am the Mario movie.
I was like, I love that movie too. And I'm like, more than you can ever know.
It was a good movie.
Well, it hits the nostalgia buttons in just the right way, especially like that shot when Mario sees the castle and you get the do like, but it's like orchestra, and I'm like, like that's my childhood, like from being 5 years old. It's just like,
I love that it's the same camera shot as the 64 game. Oh man, it's like that. That's probably my favorite in the movie.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people that were like suggesting the only reason it did so well was because it was a nostalgia like run piece. I'm like, that's why it did well for adults. But look at the kids; they had a fun time with it.
My daughter loves it, and she doesn't really know Mario that much. Like she doesn't. She's obsessed with Princess Peach now. We got her the Princess Peach game, and she is obsessed with it. She also runs around like crazy now, going, "I'm a ninja! I'm a ninja! I'm a ninja! I'm a ninja!" Because
I know her, and that is.
This is what she does. She's always like this, like her two fingers up. I'm like, that's not the only thing ninjas do. I'm like, I need to make you watch some Naruto, and
you know she'll come back like in like a day and like doing like.
I'm like, yeah, I gotta teach you some ninjutsu.
I am down with that. It's not Itsy Bitsy Spider, by the way. That's totally. And the people like,
But no, I think that's a strong point, though, that the Mario movie has so much more going for it than just the nostalgia factor. I mean, we had a whole episode about the Mario movie, but I will reiterate till the end of time. As a fan of Mario, I loved everything about that movie. I think it did it perfectly. It makes me feel like a kid again playing Mario. What better experience can you have? Like
Sonic. Just
but Sonic doesn't do that for me though. Sonic is a great movie, and I love the Sonic movie, but it doesn't
I will
smack me back to my
Sonic
childhood.
was better.
Sure.
As far as a cinema, as far as like a film piece, the Sonic movies are far better. But they fucking nailed it with Mario. I mean, what is Mario beyond a whole nostalgia piece anyway?
Man.
Every Mario game is the reason you buy Mario is because it's fucking Mario. You don't buy Mario because this one makes you turn into a clown. No, you buy it because you know what this game is going to be. You know,
Mario turns into a raccoon now. Sweet. Mario turns into a cat now. Sweet. Mario turns into an elephant now. Awesome.
Exactly my point. Like it's still amazing. You know, every one of them does improve. I will admit to that. Well, not every one of them, but you know what I mean. But like, it fully encapsulated what the experience of Mario is, and so I just think that like that was really, really smartly well done. So
I like the notion you were talking about, like through a child's eyes, like. A lot of the stuff didn't matter. Like I sit there and I think of like so much crap was thrown at Chris Pratt for the voice, but I'm like, I guarantee, like, did your daughter, when you watched it with her, did she go, no, that's Star-Lord. Like that's Star-Lord. I hear it.
No, dude, no way.
I don't care what she said. I care what I think. And Star-Lord sucks now. No, actually,
that giant dinosaur guy. No, he's that guy from Jumanji. No.
That's Andy from Parks and Recreation.
I will admit that I think we are a little pratted out. Like we're kind of a little Tom Holland out as well.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Okay. That's normal though in cinema and film throughout the years.
Yeah,
there's always
everybody's gonna get them for everything. But I mean, they're not inherently like
Hugh Jackman making it back around.
Huge Jackman. That's
Jackman.
right.
Like you know, Chris Pratt got to where he is for a reason, and the you know, regardless of how you feel about him as a person, that's a separate story. If that's how you feel about it, then that's how you feel about it. But you know, I've said this before on here. I do believe in the death of the author. I do think that I can separate that because he's not the one who wrote the fucking thing. He's not the one who put his ideals into it. He's not the one that like, you know, like this is how I want to operate the, you know, all he did was I was told to say it like this. Here's how I presented it. And here's what the editor, director, and everybody else thought was the best representation of me sounding like. Right. So let him be Garfield, Mario, and everybody else until he sucks enough that we don't want to see him ever again.
It's funny though, because at the end of the day, it's a job. And by saying I don't want him to, like, you're almost just like, I don't want that guy to make money anymore. I want him. I don't want him to have a job.
Him making all the money.
Why are we so quick to hate Jared Leto, a guy who has proven himself to be an incredible actor for certain films? Not all of them, definitely not all of them. He can like you it's like Nick Cage. You have to choose exactly which kind of a thing this person is going to excel at. Same thing with Keanu Reeves. I used to hate Keanu Reeves when I was a kid. I was like, this guy sucks at acting because I didn't know any better. I heard somebody else say that bullshit. And now I'm like, Keanu Reeves is not just one of the best actors out there because he knows exactly what he needs to do now. He's also one of the best people. And fuck you if you don't like Keanu Reeves. He deserves all the happiness. He's awesome.
That's like the horrible rhetoric of the internet in general is you heard somebody say something and you took that as gospel. And that's how people live their lives, because with the internet, any old Yahoo can say whatever the hell they want and people believe it without proof or reasoning. Just, oh, this person that's got several million followers said that, so it must be true.
Sadly, that's the case.
Yeah.
You make your own decisions, but who am I?
You know, I like to think that now I've gotten better at that, but again, I'm the oldest man here.
I've always been the one to be like, I like it, and I don't care if you don't. Like,
I used to think that, and then I had to really take a step back and be like, okay, what is it that I'm listening to? And yeah, I found a pattern now that I think I can agree with, that if the wide consensus of people that I trust, the people that I go to for those kinds of things, whether it's literal people I know in my life, like Dan, I know if you like something, there's a big chance I'm gonna like. You and I just tend to have a really a matching likeness of media. And I know, oh, Dan liked it, I'm going to give it a shot. And then I give it a shot. Oh, I liked it, actually. So that's fine. Same thing with two of my cousins. There's another couple of my cousins that I'm like, oh, you didn't like it? Okay, I'm definitely going to go watch it.
You
now.
know that one person, though, that's like, oh, I really loved this show. And you're like, if you liked it, it's dark. It's like, you like garbage. So I'm not watching that.
That's exactly my point, is that now I've gotten used to like figuring out like how to figure it out. And so like I'll you know, like when a new game comes out, for example, I'll look into like what the reviews are, but I won't read too much into them. And I like looking at the negative reviews to see what the patterns are.
I love reading negative reviews.
If everybody says the story is shit, the gameplay is fun, but the story is terrible, okay, I know, well, at least I'm going to have a fun time and it should turn off my brain. But if there's that one guy, or like there's several people who are like, this game didn't work well on my PC.
Well, this I'm going to take this.
Get a better one. I don't
I'll
know
take
what to
this
tell
down
you. I'm sorry.
The other rabbit hole of this is why reviews matter. Good, bad, or otherwise, reviews matter because even the negative reviews influence your decision.
As long as they can say something.
Yeah, as long as they actually say
them.
something. Granted,
Yeah.
you can't accept the review that was like, oh, I love the product, but the Amazon guy smashed it on my doorstep.
Yeah, that's your fault,
Like,
dude. I'm sorry.
that's the Amazon delivery driver.
Now I'm going to boycott the product for the rest of my life.
You know,
I
like,
mean, even if somebody gives it a good review and they're like, I liked it.
cool.
Your parents failed.
The worst reviews are the ones that give it like 5 stars, but then they say something really negative, and it's like, I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah.
They just
5 out
wanna
of
be
5.
seen.
5 out of 5. Worst experience I've ever had.
Like 5 out of 5 will make you shit your mother's pants. Like, huh?
That sounds like an awesome game.
Mom, get over here.
This game is going to do something awesome. Just wait. I don't know when, but just wait.
This is part of my favorite thing when I was trying to do like the review game with you guys, because I just read a bunch of shitty negative reviews, but most of them are pretty hilarious. It's a good time.
I'm down to do that again.
I'm down to try
felt
it, but
bad
I had,
that
like
when
we
you
had,
tried it
went
out,
so bad.
I wasn't
we had
here.
No idea.
I knew exactly what it was.
You knew the what was it, the
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. And I was just kind of like, I literally have no concept. Like this is not computing. And when you say it's just because I forgot it existed.
Which is
I'm
also
sorry,
why
but it was
now
some people might
WB
think that's a
games
good
are
thing.
blaming Suicide Squad for their massive loss of revenue for the year.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I
now
don't
they're-
know about Suicide Squad.
But now the same company's coming out with, what is it, the Arkham Shadow? Is that? I think that's what it's called.
Is that a VR game? That's a VR.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
No, Rocksteady's making that. Rocksteady's making it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Rocksteady's making it.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
But still, why? Why is it on VR? Why? Like, have you learned nothing?
People need to have more VR games.
I mean, that's true. I mean, that's very true. But
I can't play VR. I get motion sickness.
But there are certain games where I'm kind of like, that doesn't work. Like when they said we're gonna have Doom VR after the success of Doom 2016, and it was like, the whole point of it is to be fast and to like jump around and stuff. How am I going to play this game and not, absolutely just blow chunks everywhere? And then I saw the gameplay for it, and I was like, oh, that's how. You don't do anything. You stand there and
So it's like a non-movement shooter. Like
yeah.
What was the Batman VR game that was like you basically just stand still and just kind of turn
was,
and like touch things?
Yeah, there's a lot of those. Like for some games it works. I can't. I'm absolutely
Desk
beginning
Job.
off the top of my head.
That's not a VR game.
Desk Job. No.
It's a Steam Deck game. No, the other game, the other VR game that's like Desktop. What am I thinking of?
We get it. You have a handheld. Whatever, Dan.
That's his team. No, what's the one
Wish
from
somebody
like
would put my
the
hand.
Rick and Morty dude?
Accounting?
Accounting?
Online?
Accounting?
No. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Accounting. He was only part of it. I think he only provided voices. He didn't write it though. But yeah. Accounting was, I mean, like that's early. That's not even early. It's so weird. It's such in like this weird place of like right when VR was getting good and they're starting to figure out how to do it, but you could only just stand there. Like, what's that robot one that I told you about? Where like you can like it's a shooter. You can teleport to different areas, but you can only stand still where you're at. And like you're just shooting these things. It's so fantastic.
I know that's how a lot of early VR games started because they couldn't do movement smoothly enough without making you just blarf everywhere.
Well, yeah, like the controllers, they didn't have that capacity either. So it was really just like picking up stuff. You can only like use grips and stuff like that. So they had to be very clever about the way that they did it. Like even what was that? Enter the Florbus? That's Invader Zone.
Yeah.
Is it? Enter the Florbus is Invader Zone.
That's Invader Zone.
Oh my god. The was the one where the people like jump into people's brains and stuff like that.
Oh, Psychonauts?
Psychonauts.
Okay.
There was the Psychonauts.
You're
VR
thinking
one.
of Psychonauts because it's got the voice actor from Zim in it?
Well, kind of. No, but there was a VR Enter
Oh, right. They did a VR game. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something like Enter the Florbus. And I can't remember what it was called. And you can only teleport around. You can only like solve puzzles, and you had to find the angle to like figure it out and stuff like that. It's fun, and it had the same comedy and all of that, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. But like VR, like it's gotten so much farther than where it used to be, and as much as I hate to say it, it is because of meta.
Fact check: Psychonauts VR is Psychonauts in the Rhombus of Ruin.
Rhombus of Ruin. Rhombus, Florbus, whatever.
Enter the Florbus.
I know
Richard Horvitz.
They both have,
They have Richard Horvitz
screaming. It's fine.
I know, Louis, you're a big VR guy. Have you ever played Crisis Brigade 2 Reloaded?
I think I have it, but I didn't play it yet.
Oh my god, that's probably like one of my favorite VR games that I've ever played because it's straight up like it's a game you would play as a kid in an arcade. To where it's like you got the gun, you're shooting, you're in a room.
Yeah, it's one where you like
and like and you can like duck and like
it's
people
like
come into the
Time Crisis
rooms
kind of thing.
Yes, and like you shoot.
Yeah, no,
and then
it
you're
is.
to the next room, and dude, it's wonderful.
What was that called again?
Crisis Brigade 2.
There was a game that I saw come in for like review that was like a VR version of Time Crisis, and I was like, I want this.
I'm pretty sure it was Time Crisis. That Crisis Brigade is Time Crisis, but like a spiritual successor. It's not actually.
This was on
Time
PlayStation Crisis. VR. Okay, this is different than the one I'm talking about. I see what you're talking about. So,
well, there's one
because the one that
Cowboys.
I have. Wow, it's got a 9 out of 10 rating.
Yep.
Everyone go play the Crisis Brigade. It's on Steam.
It's so much fun. Yeah, because I sideloaded it onto my Quest, and it's so much.
I love
fun.
Time Crisis. That was like my jam back in the day.
Like one of the first levels, like there's a dumpster, and I'm just like I'm on the floor, like in real life, like I'm on the floor, like with my pistol, like aiming under the crack, like shooting people's legs.
That makes me feel like playing like VR airsoft or something. I would love to play real life airsoft.
Right?
I mean, if you're looking for more arcade stuff like that, especially when it comes to VR, I got like Propagation. That one's free, by the way, and it's zombies. And it's fantastic. Like that should not be free, but it is. Where's the?
I have Propagation installed, but I haven't played it yet, just because millions of games at once playing to play it. But I also have the terrible motion sickness when it comes to VR, so I have to take it in very, very small chunks.
Yeah, guns and
or
stories.
else I'm chunking.
Guns and then apostrophe N apostrophe stories. Guns and stories. That's basically the same thing. It's just you just stand there and you're just shooting stuff, and it gets more wild. Like I didn't get that far into it, but at one point it's a grandpa telling his grandson like the stories of him being an outlaw, badass cowboy. And of course, he's killing hundreds of people. It does a lot of fourth wall breaking and stuff like that. Where he's like, and that's when I got the machine guns. Machine guns, Pappy? I didn't think that they survived back in the 1900s. Shut up, kid. And it's really good. It's actually a very, very spot on arcade VR experience.
Yeah. So many good games. I think VR has so much potential. Like that's what I just include a bunch of awesome freaking VR. Like any game that ever comes out in an arcade that involves shooting or like the Halo what's
the
it
Halo
called?
arcade game.
Oh my god. Put that on VR. Oh my god.
I want a House of the Dead VR.
Yeah.
Or, what was that?
They did the House of the Dead
one?
remake.
What was that circus one? Oh my god.
Was that the that spin-off game for the other popular horror game that everybody loves that I can't think of right now?
I am old. I can't remember shit.
What's the really popular horror game on PlayStation that everybody loves that's getting a remake?
Last of Us. I'm kidding.
No, a horror game. Until Dawn.
It's a horror
Until
that
Dawn.
it keeps being remade.
No.
Because Until Dawn had a spin-off that
Dawn.
was circus-based that was a VR game.
It was. That's right.
No,
That.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Are you
this one.
talking about Killing Floor?
Not Killing Floor.
Okay.
No, it was an arcade, old arcade, like at the same time.
Oh, you're talking about old
as-
school like shooter
Oh.
arcade game.
Yeah. I mean like House of the Dead. It was back then.
I'm sure
And
I've
it
played
was
it.
a circus, and my cousin and I used to be really good at it, and like people would actually pay us to keep playing because they actually liked how into it we'd get.
I had the home
like-
kits for Time Crisis 2, 3, and 4.
Oh God, man, that shit was just so good. But that's what I'm talking about. I want those kinds of experiences also in like VR, so that way you can literally be in there because they were like, it's so real. You duck and your character ducks. I'm like, well, that's where the fun ends.
Because I get tired.
Imagine being in it. And some of that exists. We just have to look for it.
Yeah, and I can't remember how I stumbled upon Crisis Brigade, but like, oh, dude, like I saw the screenshots. I was like, that looks kind of fun, and it was like $10, I think.
Did you play it on the PlayStation?
It's cheap.
No. Like I said, like I
Good
just
on
like
Meta.
yeah. So like I sideloaded it from whatever, and dude, I was having so much fun. Like I'm over here just swinging my arms around and like I've been training my entire life for this moment. Popping around, da da da. Da, da, da.
That was me in boot camp after playing a lot of Time Crisis in the arcades, and then I'm in boot camp doing my pistol training, and I'm like, I know what needs to be done. I've been training all my life for this.
And like the workout that you get from it, like if you play it, probably not as it's intended, but it's like if you play it with enough force,
Really,
like over
really
exaggerated.
ambitiously.
Well, I mean, that's the
I'm
whole
sure you
thing
can
of
just
that.
go.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
the
like,
whole thing of
I'll
that.
open it, you know?
You just like old school duck hunting where you're just like clang, clang, clang.
That's what I'm thinking about, the one where you're like just John Wick, but it's like based to the music.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? VR, but like you're just shooting people.
it's like Beat Saber, but it's like guns,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I haven't played my VR in forever.
I know the game you're talking about.
But anyway, it doesn't work.
Now you're making me
And,
want to go get my meta and boot up.
bullet, something. No,
Yeah.
something bullet.
I keep thinking super hot, but I know it's not that.
No,
That theme
not
is
super hot.
Great too.
Super hot is fantastic. That song made me pose like an anime character in my own house, where I'm like dodging, like to like grab the guy, like
I have yet
and then
to
stop like that. Like, yeah, I was absolutely into it.
I have yet to buy the actual full game of it, but I play the demo all the freaking time, and every time I have somebody who comes over who's never played it before, I'm like, you got to play this game. And it always cracks me up when there's a certain part in the demo to where it's like you're around like this table essentially, and every now and then it happens to me to where like I run out of bullets and stuff to throw, so it's like the only way you can kill them is to punch them. And they're sitting here shooting at me, and I'm like literally on the floor in real life, just kind of like crawling around like this imaginary table until I can just run up, sneak attack.
There have been times where there was like a table in front of me, and I put my hand on it to rest because I was tired. I'm like, oh. Nobody's in my house. Thank God I live alone. All right. Pause. I gotta go to the restroom. So
Okay.
bad.
Go for it.
Louis' bathroom break is sponsored by
Asus.
the Backbone and Asus. Better
This
together.
bathroom break brought to you by the Asus ROG Ally. ROG. That's actually how the ROG guys say it. They say ROG.
ROG. Now I want to go bust out my VR and freaking play that game.
I want to try this Crisis Brigade game now because it sounds fucking awesome.
Was that where it originally is from? Is PlayStation?
Well, when I Googled it, it shows up as a PSVR game, a metagame, Vive
Oh my
port.
I am just forgetting every name today.
I'm
So
Jake.
bad.
Oh, thank God. I've been trying to figure out this entire time.
I was going to tell you, I was going to say Maria. He's a good friend of mine. I know him really well.
I did the podcast with him for 12 years and I never heard his name. I never knew his name.
Right. I know it's something like
Wow.
I always space out on the intro.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, the lights.
Wow.
Pretty colors. You just got double red ring of death.
Well, I saw that the new one's coming out, so that's going to be obsolete in about 2 months, but whatever. Obsolete.
But
It's
I'm going
it's
to
still,
make the
like, more
argument
advanced than
that
anything in my house.
these will probably start going on sale.
For how much, Dan?
I don't know yet, honestly.
$3.99.
All right. How do we want to come back in?
The same way we came out.
We've ranted long enough. Do you want to actually attempt a guided or a meaningful conversation?
I think we had a long rant. I think that was. I don't know
I'm
how.
going to call this episode just rants and tangents,
I'm fine with it.
or the original
does-
idea of the what did you call it? Like Jake's.
Jake gets a backbone. Jake finally gets a backbone
Mm,
and loses a and Mario Kart discussion.
the falling upward or failing upwards.
Jake finally gets a backbone, comma, and Mario Kart.
/ Mario Kart.
Or we can just keep riffing for another 10, 15
I don't know how long.
minutes.
I don't know how long it's been going, but I definitely have enjoyed this more than.
It's been like 45 minutes, right?
We're
At
we're
least?
43 minutes.
Yeah, I figured as much. Up to you guys. I mean, the only thing, like I said, the only thing I was gonna say is just talking shit about.
Well, we
CEO.
need to at least address the monkey in the room that is the random Randy Savage impersonations that we keep doing, because that was a before the show joke that we kept going.
that kept going on into the conversation. I remember that. It's kind of like, well, I guess we're there.
I can't even imagine. Like, what was it? I can't remember what started it.
I was talking shit about the CEO. Like, you need to
I
get
mean,
more
let's just-
games coming out, brother.
I need more games.
Need to listen to the people. We're the cream rising to the top. Yeah.
No, go on.
Yeah, keep going.
Go on.
Do it.
Here, we're your audience. Go ahead.
We're
You're selling
ready.
us right now.
All right.
We're strapped
I didn't know we
in.
were still recording. All right. So,
You
What are
got
you
us
talking
3
about, Berkeley?
minutes.
all right.
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Wait up.
Got you for 3 minutes. Yeah. I'm nowhere near as buff, but
Not with that attitude.
well,
I got you.
Make it so.
BDE.
Somebody get that
So-
boy a sandwich.
Jesus Christ. So, I want to talk about how the CEO of Xbox this past week, I don't even want to say she tried. She didn't try. She did not be like, hey, so here's going to be a lot of hard questions, especially for two major studios who've made major franchises that have done really well, including one that did well last year. Why would I need to prepare? Why would I need to talk to anybody? Why would I at all need to say anything that has any kind of reflection on me as a Bowser, which you fucking are? So, let's fucking over it. Instead, Nothing. When they got rid of a studio that made one of my favorite games last year, which is Hi-Fi Rush, and I love. Oh my god, Dan, you could attest to this. You were
I was
there.
saying, I need to put in a cut of you saying Hi-Fi Rush, Hi-Fi Rush, Hi-Fi Rush, Hi-Fi Rush, Hi-Fi Rush, like all the times that you bring up Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh my god! Well, I'm going to say it enough. Don't worry about that. So Daniel, Dennison,
Danity,
Dan Fernie,
Dirty Dan.
Dancing with the Stars. You have seen, I have said it twice on this show, on 2 separate episodes, that 808 is the best goddamn cat in video game history. And unless they give that title to somebody else, like hopefully Bethesda, because they're the only ones that survived, then maybe I could see my 808 again. Because I love 808. You have no idea. I fucking love 808. It's oh my gosh, she's so fucking perfect and cute. And Hi-Fi Rush. We got 9 Inch Nails and Prodigy on a soundtrack. That doesn't happen for a video game unless you're doing something like The Social Network with Justin Timberlake. You don't get 9 Inch Nails. Ah! So okay.
Didn't Frequency have 9 Inch Nails on it? At least the Prodigy. Anyways,
I think it. Shut up! Don't, you're ruining my point. Anyway,
shut up.
So I'm a little worried. I have emotions that are suggesting that there was probably not handled a correct way. And I'm quite upset that I get it, Xbox. In all seriousness, I do get it. You have a little bit. Both Xbox and PlayStation have not been doing that well these past couple of years because they're not really doing anything. Honestly, I hope somebody is listening. I hope somebody is really, really taking this in. And I know that this is very nuanced, and I know that it is very reductive of me to say something like this. I'm not brave. I'm not smart. I am a gamer. I am the person who buys your product. If I could tell you anything, it is not as simple as make better games. It's not as simple as take your time. It's not as simple as any of that. But we are telling you, we want to see certain things be done. We want to see. We don't really care too much. I know there are some people out there that really do care about this because, you know, like you're going to make a game very quickly. You're going to put it out there. It's going to be half done. We get that. We know that that's just part of the whole thing. That's how it works. But you don't have to do that with every goddamn game. That isn't a perfect game. That isn't what makes us turn to the platform. What we turn to the platform for a lot more than anything else is the stuff that's new, is the stuff that gives us more diversity. Diversity is not a bad word. Anyway, I just think that like the reason why you're getting so much flack for this is because we finally told you this is something that we like. And maybe it didn't hit the numbers that you like, or maybe it didn't send you over the stratosphere that you wanted. And that's kind of understandable because, you know, more, I guess, mobile games are the things are still kind of working out, but it's not sustainable. We know this because emulation exists. We were talking about this before the show. We will illegally go to play a game that you refuse to sell us. We will do this shit illegally because you are just refusing to give us the presents that we deserve. We are asking you, we are begging you, we are screaming at you to sell us these products that you refuse to sell because they're not going to give you the right amount of sales. So, okay, we're going to do it illegally because it's free over here. Why don't you just hire that guy and give him 25 cents every time one of us buys it for $1? I don't know what needs to be done. I don't have the capacity for that, but you obviously do. You have billions of dollars. Shut up and stop making shit games that make us all roll our eyes every single time something like this comes out. And stop blaming it on the people who are actually making the games because it's not their fault that you don't know how to run your own goddamn company, that you don't know how to make things work out right from the beginning. Baldur's Gate took 7 years and some of the best goddamn talent for all this time, and they had a soft opening for about 3 years to get it right when they finally sent it out to the rest of the people. That's how you do a game right. And not everybody needs to be Baldur's Gate because it is huge. What I am saying is, if you can make a game like Hi-Fi Rush, which started out this small and ended up this big because you saw where it was going, and then you take it away from us, we're going to be pissed off. That's why you are seeing what you're seeing now. Listen to us. We're the consumer. And yes, we're going to buy all the dog shit that you send out to us because we kind of have to, because that's all that you're making. But we're not going to be happy about it. And eventually, much like my ex, we're going to leave. That was a lot sadder than I wanted it to be. But anyway.
I don't know if this was stated before this entire rant, but in full disclosure, this is in regards to Xbox shutting down 4 of its studios.
I don't think it was directly stated.
I don't think it was either, because I think you just
said a couple
it.
of things where I said you're getting rid of a few of the studios for some of the biggest franchises that have ever happened. And so one of them is also for Hi-Fi Rush.
If you're still here after all of that,
if you're not clapping and let's take on games, but never on dignity. No, they take all of my dignity. It's that, and that wasn't just for Xbox. This is also for PlayStation.
Oh,
because I know PlayStation is going through the same kind of shit. I just read an article that was absolute pure clickbait that was saying that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be the last PlayStation exclusive, PlayStation 5, which I kind of understand. At first, I was kind of like, oh, this is just clickbait. And then I read it and I'm like, no, they actually had like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a whole thing with Square Enix that I saw a similar report that they're doing a whole rebooting of Square Enix, and they're going to start looking at a multi-platform strategy going forward for all their games.
Perfectly succinct. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Because they're not getting the performance that they want from their bigger titles.
26.5% less than what they did last year. Maybe something wrong is happening. When you have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth come out and it didn't do that well, Final Fantasy 16 and it did okay. They did great independently, but your company is not doing well because guess what other shit you had that came out? It's mostly stuff on mobiles, and it's mostly stuff that we don't really care about anymore. Yeah, how many times are you going to send out Kingdom Hearts? I'm going to buy them every time. But how many times are you going to send them out?
Well, so was the reason why maybe Rebirth didn't do so well? Like that wasn't released on the PS4, right?
No, Rebirth
it's PS5
did fantastic.
Exclusive.
It's a PS5 exclusive. I think, okay, the PS5, let's be very candid. The PS5, I've had this conversation with my friends, sucks. There is no lineups for it. The exclusives are eventually going to go out to other stuff, and it's basically a PlayStation 4 with better graphics, and it's faster. That's the only thing. That's why I think Xbox kind of is just kind of also going like, we're just going to become like Steam. We're just going to
put our stuff everywhere.
We're gonna make games and we're gonna sell shit and that's it. Nintendo and PlayStation, you guys could be like, and Nintendo is doing weird shit. That's great, but it's not weird enough, honestly, because I can't watch my Netflix on my Switch unless I break the thing, which you're not gonna let me do anymore. So you're bogarting these incredible games, which are fantastic, but now you're also going, well, we're just going to take all the mobile games. And so you're buying all the mobile games that we could buy them all for $10 when they are 25 cents, but they also kind of suck, especially on that kind of a platform. So that's a whole nother problem. PlayStation, you're not doing well either because you are just trying to hold on to something that doesn't exist anymore. Sell your games. Do what Square is looking at. Sell your games to everybody. Just be a better system that makes me want to buy the system, not the games. You could do it. You're a computer. Figure it out.
And that's one.
And I'm an idiot. What's that?
Louis needs to go recover in a cave for several months.
I've been holding a lot of stuff in for a minute.
Would you like to borrow my backbone?
I need a backbone right now.
Threw out my backbone with that rant.
Everything comes full circle.
Oh my god! I have this beautiful like this is like the thing that you rest your wrists on while you're like typing and stuff, and it's squishy, and so I'm just sitting here just like
Trying
it's
to
like a stress ball. Like, I need to vent. It's just, and I know that they don't care because what I'm saying doesn't matter. They're making the profits, they're making billions of dollars. Call of Duty has been free for the past couple of years, and they're still making more money than most other people, unless you're buying the stuff because you don't have to, but it helps. And so I get it. I get it. I understand that part of it, but the majority of the people, and that's why I think that the numbers are failing, is because people are starting to catch on. Not everyone is playing Call of Duty. Not everyone is playing Fortnite.
Well, the problem
Not
is the
everyone is
live
playing
service
Overwatch.
games taking over everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not everyone is getting Xbox Game Pass. Not everyone is playing exclusively PlayStation games. Guys, we are the community. We figured this out and we went, oh, we're not going to let you do
You're
this
talking
shit
to a
no
group
more.
of assholes right here who were just nerding out about how we're loving emulating old ass games that we can play in any way that we want. That has nothing to do with the major companies.
Exactly. We want these games. We want to play them. We want them all. Just sell them to us. We will buy them. I have the money. I will give it to you to play Parasite Eve.
Since we've gone down this rabbit hole, I want to at least put out two caveats with this discussion because of the whole thing with Xbox and shutting down those studios. They are for internal studios of the Bethesda, conglomerate, which is obviously owned by Microsoft and Xbox. And yes, it hurts to know that they shuttered Tango Gameworks because I'm a massive Evil Within fan. I also loved Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know more of the specifics on what that studio was doing. I mean, they also did Ghostwire Tokyo, of course, which is pretty well beloved for those who've played it. The other two smaller studios, from what I understand, are their mobile studios. As far as I understand, the studios got shut down, but the majority of those people got absorbed into Bethesda. So they're still with the company. Their studios just aren't standalone studios anymore. The Arcane thing, I had read a report that most of Arcane Austin got laid off and let go, which is unfortunate, especially considering they made Prey, which is a very beloved game. And yes, Redfall definitely didn't meet expectations. And I was, being the Xbox fan that I am, was hoping that, Microsoft, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, all those people I look up to at Xbox were going to be a more healthy place for those studios to grow and evolve. But I also understand the business side of it. With COVID and the rise of gaming, and all these studios were beefing up their rosters and maxing out their studios to put out more content and more games to meet the expectations that happened with COVID. Now those expectations are tapering off, and those studios don't need as many people, especially after acquisitions. You start buying up a bunch of studios, and then you get multiple people doing the same job, and people got to get cut. That's just the short of it. I am holding out some hope that Xbox isn't just doing a giant old fuck you to the people who developed Hi-Fi Rush and Hi-Fi Rush itself, because as far as I know, and as far as I've seen, I haven't heard anything specifically about the Tango team being completely laid off. I could be wrong. They might have, but I'm hoping that they're part of the people who got absorbed into Bethesda, and now the core group of people will be able to continue working on that series. I can't imagine a game like Hi-Fi Rush, as beloved as it is and as many of rewards as it's gotten, and they just frickin' ported it to PS5.
Right.
Why would you cut that off at the feet now after all that? It seems unintelligible, like it.
There we go.
Questionable, like it doesn't make sense. So I'm subscribing to the notion that it's not dead. Nobody, no dead, no death.
No body, no crime.
So here's my thing about that. And my rant is not necessarily just about why would you do this to the studio? Like, I love Tango. I love Evil Dead. I love
Evil Within.
Evil Within. Thank you. I love all of those things. Like, and I man, God damn it! You have no idea how much I love Dishonored. like, yeah, that sucks. And you know, when you told me to, like, hey, it didn't say anything about laying off a lot of the people. Okay, that gave me a little bit of hope. But the problem is, again, you're not treating this with what it deserves. You did not give us an answer that Dan could specifically say, they did not do this, and there is this, and there is that. You didn't give us that. Instead, you treated it as, well, they're probably not going to ask it.
So for clarification for anyone listening, you're directly referring to this statement by Sarah Bond during this interview when she was directly asked about Tango and Hi-Fi Rush, and she gave a very long, elaborate non-answer.
Yes, between that and how everything that Xbox is doing, when they were like, hey, by the way, we did this, and then they just kind of left it there. They're not giving any kind of reassurance. They're not telling anybody anything. They're just being very secretive about it. Don't make a public announcement about something that you were doing that sucks so grandly without making some kind of backup to be able to tell people, wow.
Yeah, that should have come with a big long explanation letter. Then by the way, we're really sorry, but we're closing these studios.
It wasn't even that. It was people's definitions of success is different.
I'm saying that's what they should have done. They should have had this big long explanation speech or letter or like statement.
Right, no, yeah. But like you're also saying, rather than just saying sorry, they didn't even say sorry. They were just kind of like, you may have liked them. End of sentence. Like what? Like you didn't even finish that shit. Did you tell me I didn't like the way that they looked? Tell me something so I can at least go, you're the bad guy, or maybe they sucked. They killed my dog and then they made me, lick it off the street. I don't know. Lie to me. Say something, because Jesus Christ, we are left in the dark of why are you doing these stupid things when you probably have a good reason. I'm assuming you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
I almost wonder, like, maybe like best case scenario, and like I could be totally wrong because I don't know how things work or whatever, but them being so secretive and stuff and not really outright saying it, in my opinion, which I think would be an awesome thing to do, would be like the Xbox showcases next month. Wouldn't that be an awesome time to sit there and go like, oh yeah, unfortunately, we had to shut down these studios, but we moved X amount of people from the studio to this studio now, and now this studio is going to create a sequel to Hi-Fi Rush or something like that. Would be freaking awesome. I would love to. It's like, okay, we are now going to move.
I would love to hold out hope for that if it wasn't already basically confirmed that Tango Gameworks was pitching Hi-Fi Rush 2 when they got shut down.
No, never mind. Delete everything that I just said.
No.
Apart from that, that would actually piss me off. That would actually piss me off more, to be completely honest, because then it's like, are you treating us like you're a TV show? Are you putting people's lives, their livelihood on the line? Like, like, okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. A month before the big reveal, we're going to tell everybody we fired everyone. And then we're going to tell them, no, just kidding. Everyone's still alive.
What is this, a Truman Show?
I just thought there would be some, like, I don't know, like if they're not.
We don't have the Dragon Balls. We can't bring them all back to life. We don't know these.
They have to address it. They have to address something about it at the Game Awards next month.
No, what would be
the showcase?
smart?
Well, I keep saying Game Awards. I keep saying Game Awards. Showcase. I'm sorry.
What would be
same thing.
That were
Game
the
Awards
case.
is just a.
If that were the case, they would have needed to have said it at the same time that they're also like appeasing you. They'd be like, okay, we are going to absorb these studios into this place, but don't worry, because these people are still going to be working on this stuff, and we're still looking into continuing these great products that you guys already know, love, that have won all these goddamn awards. Because I love the fact that they sent out where they're like, no, we need more people that are going to win more awards. And they're like, you mean these 30? You need more than these? Because how many did fucking Halo get, dickwad? You didn't exactly say that one's going out, you fuck. Like guys, like you're not paying attention to what we are literally telling you. And that's why I'm so pissed off, is that there's nothing. They're treating us like idiots. They are flat out telling us you don't need to know and you don't care to know. We're going, no, we want to know. Yeah, but do you? Yes. I swear. And it's so frustrating because I love these games. I really do. If none of this is proof, I love this stuff so much. And I want to see it continue. And even if it continues with somebody else, it's going to be weird. It's kind of awkward, but at least I know that there's a chance. And you're not even giving me that. You're just, That's why we're mad. If you didn't figure it out, because I don't think you have yet. That's why we're mad. End of rant.
On that massive tangent.
I was just the number one thing I think is the worst of anything. Like, I get it. We will never get a Hi-Fi Rush 2. If that's the case, it sucks. But it's like, what bothers me most is when people lose their jobs, essentially. Like, that's somebody's jobs. Like, now you have hundreds of people, however many people it is. Now they have to go home and go, I have no way to pay our bills. Like, and then trying to get a job in an industry that's already so hard to get into.
Yeah.
I feel like that's been such a theme over the past, like,
that could be a whole conversation for another episode, talking about the massive layoffs and how many developers now are jobless and everyone is looking for work.
And the sad part is it's isn't going to be the last of it. Yeah. And like, it's probably going to happen more, but it's terrible every time we see it happen.
It's a weird thing too, because
you're absolutely right. Because we have so many friends of ours personally who are incredible game developers. We know people who have worked on some of the biggest goddamn games that exist. People who have worked on games that went as high as Hi-Fi Rush. People who we've talked to on this fucking show who've done stuff that are so amazing. And I worry for them. I feel bad. And I want to get into that too. But this one, I just wanted to put on the surface level, just going like, guys, just the surface level, this is how enticed I get. Imagine when I'm talking about my friends who I'm not sure are going to be able to, like Jake said, at 100%. It's so sad to think, like, that's what I meant by you're playing with their livelihood. Mm-hmm. You're using them as a donor chip to try to, like, I bet they're gonna love this. Hey, they're all not dead. No, this isn't The Walking Dead. This isn't Dragon Ball. Tell me if you're going to keep these people on board or not, because I there's a reason why we love these games, and it's not just because the game is good. It's because those people made it. I love those people because that game exists. Ugh.
We are the yin yang of podcasts now, with a tonal shift over the course of this conversation. And I have many thoughts on this, but we have to close out for this discussion after that massive Louis tangent.
And it wasn't one of the stupid ones this time. This time it was actually, I hope anyway, that it was a little more nuanced.
I do want to close it out with at least saying that, like, I hope that the layoffs can calm down. I hope we can find a new equilibrium in the games industry, because I find myself not knowing how to feel these days, and it sucks real bad. It's making it hard to feel passion and love for the things that I love and am passionate about. That, I don't know if you guys have any other final thoughts.
That is so perfectly put. I want to get into that eventually. What I've proposed for discussion topics. I want to get there. I really want to talk about it because I wanted this one to be surface level, to just be like, it sucks that we're losing the cool games, but really it comes from the people.
We're losing the people.
We are losing these people who we love so much. We're losing this incredible community, and it feels like it's getting more and more divided. And man, I don't want to get into it now, but
and it's like it's not even like a PlayStation versus Xbox thing versus Nintendo. This is happening everywhere, and that's the sucky part about it. And it's like I said, like there's people who are getting laid off who they might not find another job in the game industry. And like, what does it say for people learning the stuff now, trying to get in the game dev?
Yeah, if you're going to school right now for game development, you got to be terrified.
That's terrifying. It's like
I feel
it's like you're not going to get into it. Like, how can you expect to get a job?
I feel
when all these other studios, these people getting but like even if you do get the job, like how guilty do you feel knowing like there's all these people? Yeah,
we keep going, but I also feel extremely bad for the people who like relocate for a job only to get laid off 6 months or a year later, and they spent who knows how much money relocating for a job,
just a gamble on their life.
Yeah. Like
that's it.
And again, this is not, just so you guys know, this is not just speculation. These are people we know, people who've talked to us personally. These are actual friends of ours who told us, I relocated because the studio is here. And then
like a week later,
it's terrifying. It's terrifying. This is not just coming from a place of, Louis doesn't get his game. It's coming from a place of like, again, watch your credits one time for a AAA game. See how long it takes you. Those shits are 5 to 10 minutes long. There's that many people that are working on this, and there's that many people whose lives are at stake. And if you don't give us an excuse of why you're putting that many people in jeopardy, you are not a good boss. Drop.
That's it.
Boom. Anyways, thank you to everyone who's been listening or watching, if you're still listening or watching at this point, if we haven't lost you yet. This has been taking many turns in this one. Like I said, it feels like a yin yang of a podcast. We got our ups and our downs, but it's been fun.
I felt so much happier at the start of this. What happened?
So much happiness.
You let me talk. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I had this building up for the past couple of days after I saw what she said, and it just did not.
I had to let the Louis rage release.
I'm so sorry. I won't be on for the next couple episodes. If it appeases
it was
you,
fun.
I'll be on.
No, but
Dad's gonna put me in jail.
The smash jail.
I have to screen smash out of it.
Smash jail. Oh. Don't drop the screen, bro.
Is it snoo snoo? Death by snoo snoo.
Anyways, thank you, Louis. Thank you, Louis.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks, Louis.
Thank you, Jake. And thank you and shout out to our CouchSoup community and members who support us and this show and helping make this all possible. Now, go and enjoy the games that you are playing. We'll see you guys all next time.
Louis, exit this out with how it started. Macho Man.
Is that how we came in? The cream's gonna rise to the top. Don't worry, we're coming at you, CEO.